Hello everyone and welcome back to another brand new video. Now today we've gotten our first look at Motogp 24. We all knew it was coming, just didn't know when, and we have our first announcement trailer. I've yet to watch it, so I'm going to watch it through once with G and say nothing, just watch it and see is there any little snippets or golden nuggets I can spot. I also saw in the description there is a link to the website now that is up, so once we've watched it and kind of given my thoughts on it, we'll jump over there and see is there any other little diamonds in the rough to see can we spot any hints at what's going to be new in this year's game. But anyway, let's jump straight into the trailer.
Peggy 3. When you think you know all the tracks, but you don't. When you have friendly bonds, but then the lights go out. When you think you're the first, but it's not over yet. When you know reality has rules, but rules are meant to be broken. It only happens in Motogp 24.
So there was one massive thing I noticed there. Now I'm going to play it back and I'm going to mute it. I'm just going to watch it through. Again, all the kind of usual jibber jabber, this stuff, kind of pointless filler. Some weird kind of cringy American voice talking over it, saying absolutely nothing and wasting time. Very nice you got Jack Miller crashing in the intro. I like that. Nice bit of realism. Again, nothing to see really up until this point. Again, you see our first look at Marcus on Ducati, which is quite cool. Using that as their probably one of their strongest marketing things. I guarantee he'll be on the cover. This is out of left field. So that's Pecco Bagnaia and Maverick Vinales on a Repsol Honda. Fabio, factory Aprilia. I believe that's meant to be Jorge Martin on a factory KTM. Marcus after getting promoted to Prima Pramac. Play it on again, I believe. Pecco ends up on the N1. Does a straight swap with Fabio. Yeah, it's something is that meant to be Marini? I think that's meant to be Luca Marini on a factory KTM. That's DJ on a Pramac. Frankie on a VR46, something you probably should have been on this year, not in the Pramac. But this is the biggest part of the trailer. Nothing else happens other than this little clip here. Again, kind of pointless B-roll here of these kind of cinematic shots. I don't think there's anything really, again, wet weather riding. Nothing really interesting other than that, other than Motogp 24. The release date, I got all excited. So is that 2nd to the 5th? That is May, so we're still a bit away, to be fair. Not too far away, but I knew it probably sometime in May, so the 2nd of May 24 isn't overall too bad. The fact we have rider transfers confirmed, which is very interesting. Something Formula 1 have had for a couple of years ahead of us. Again, as always, Milestone are a bit behind Codemasters. Now, here you have at the end PS5, PS4, which is interesting that they're still going old gen. That's I don't want it to come across as negative, but that isn't great having old gen because you have to slightly water the game down for older consoles. Xbox X and S, the original Xbox One, that's old tech at this point. Obviously, be released on Steam and the Nintendo Switch store, and of course, beyond Unreal Engine now. I believe it'll still be 4. I'm not too sure if they have made the jump to 5 yet, or is that even a thing, to be honest. I know it's something they will be doing in the future, but I think at the moment we're still going to be on Unreal Engine 4. Now, here we are on the website. I'm going to have a quick scroll through myself first, just see is there anything interesting. I'm not going to read through the whole lot of it and just kind of bore everyone to death. I'll look through it, do the reading myself, see is there anything I want to bring to note, and I will cut to that now. So once again here we have the release date in full. So it's 49 days away from the announcement of this trailer. So just over kind of a month and a week and a couple of days all together really. So not really that long considering going from its first announcement to actually having a hands-on copy. So this is the main thing everyone's probably after taking from the trailer. Once again we have this little rider line up here in the background with like the likes of Brins on a Pramac or a Gresini Ducati. It's so weird. The more you look, the worse it gets. Like what Alex Marquez doing on a gas. Vignale isn't. I'm going to move on because I'm going to get very worked up with all these stupid transfers that we're going to see. But anyway, career and riders market. Real riders make choices on and off track to find your path, which turning points. So that turning points from 23. That kind of slight useless thing is brought back. Hopefully it's more dynamic, because it was very much after half a season of beat this rider 3 times, beat this rider 3 times. It was something for nothing, if that makes sense. Enjoy the brand new riders market and shape the most dynamic career ever. Start each new season with a roster update, new stars in the paddock. Only talent can make difference. So that's pretty cool. Once it's not buggy, once you don't see like if Pecco wins on the factory daddy, he doesn't jump onto like satellite Honda, that sort of thing. You don't want to see stupid ones. You wanted to see it like if Maverick has a really good season or pretty maybe, then he gets the factory Ducati seat, for example. But hopefully it makes some actual sense. It's not just like RNG that people just move around for the sake of it, because that will be a bit weird. But hopefully it works as intended. So 2 things to note here is the Motogp Stewards. The new Motogp Steward monitors race and time sessions to guarantee fair racing. Both AIs and players' unfair behaviour is now sanctioned according to what happened on track. Again, if in theory this works correctly, it will be very good for everyone. Only issue is that 99% of the time when a milestone game comes out, it has bugs, and things like these will be broken. For example, you'll get to round 6 in career mode, and every lap you do will count as, for example, it will be like track limits warning, and you won't have the lap, and you won't be able to do qualifying or something super like that. There's always these little bugs. So provided the stuff that we're reading here works correctly, there's all kind of news and stuff like that will be positive. The adaptive difficulty and accessibility. Enjoy the new adaptive difficulty technology that dynamically matches the AI to your skills for every player to have equal fun and the same kind of support. So again, in theory, if this works, this is a brilliant feature. If it means the AI kind of slightly rubber band, hopefully it's not as obvious for the lesser skilled people, so that they're constantly not trying to fight and find out the difficulty throughout a season in career mode. So again, it does say new live GP, so that feature is coming back. Hopefully they've put a bit of work into that, because I like the idea of it for 23. It just wasn't really executed quite well. So again, I really hope that kind of is built upon it and comes back better than ever. So yeah, and again, just to note, live GP will not be available on Nintendo Switch. And unfortunately, crossplay, which is really unfortunate, is still only between PlayStation and Xbox console. Should be a space there. So that is again, unfortunate that we, our PC people, do not get the crossplay, because it is heavily needed. If you are a Steam or any sort of PC player, it is drastically how bad the online is, because there's very few people on it. So that is going to be a little bit disappointing again to see that we don't have kind of 3-way crossplay and being able to play with everyone, because again, at the end of the day, MotoGP is still a bit of a niche. You really need to be capturing everyone into the same kind of player pool to play against each other. That would really prolong a game's life cycle. So that is a slight missed opportunity again from Milestone, unfortunately, but it is what it is, I suppose. So that is it for today's video. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Of course, it's only an announcement trailer. We don't see any gameplay. We don't really see any hands-on time yet, but the fact that the riders transfers is definitely going to be a big thing for career mode, providing, once again, it works correctly. It'd be really cool. I don't think it's going to be a feature, because it's probably too much for a first step, that we would see riders retire. For example, if we got Marquez, does a season with Grassini, then maybe goes back to Honda, does 2 years, and then retires and gets replaced by Fermin Aldeguer or something like that. So it would be really cool if we get progression from Moto 2 and Moto 3. Chances that are very unlikely. I'd imagine it's going to be just a bit of an RNG random factor of rider moving between factory to factory and so on and so forth. But that is pretty much everything that we can tell so far about MotoGP 24. Obviously, like I said, 49 days until release. Not a million miles away, really. So in the next couple of weeks, there will be a few more videos like this once we have a bit more of an idea on what's going to be in the game, when we get a bit of hands-on time, and hopefully get to see some footage and gameplay in the coming weeks. So, like I said, leave me know in the comments what you think of today's announcement trailer. Is it good? Is it bad? Love to hear your feedback, as always, in the comments. Thank you for tuning in today, and I shall see you in the next one, hopefully with some more MotoGP 24 news. Thanks for watching. Slán go fóill.